Good afternoon to all the Berks County Quarantine open mic folks out there. Thank you so much for having me yet again for Children's Hour this Sunday afternoon. I'm Jessie, and you're now listening to Stories and Songs with Jessie. And yep, I'm wearing one of my favorite shirts. I'm a 90s kid, so of course the made in the 90s shirt makes sense. Alrighty, well, we are on to yet another Junie B. Jones book. The next one in the series is called Junie B. Jones and the Sneaky Peeky Spying. So we're going to read about half of this book today, and then I have a song queued up here to sing karaoke for you as usual, so I hope that you enjoy. Or I'm sorry, it's Junie B. Jones and Some Sneaky Peeky Spying is the name of our book here today. All right. Chapter 1, Sneaky Peeky Spying. My name is Junie B. Jones. The B stands for Beatrice, except I don't like Beatrice. I just like B, and that's all. I go to kindergarten. Kindergarten is what comes before first grade, except for I don't know why it's called that silly word of kindergarten, because it should be called 0 grade, I think. My teacher has the name of Mrs. She has another name too, but I just like Mrs., and that's all. Mrs. has short brown hair and long skirts of wool, and she smiles a real lot. Except for sometimes when I'm noisy, she claps her loud hands at me. It used to scare me very much, only then I got used to it. And now I don't even pay it any attention. I wish Mrs. lived next door to me. Then me and her would be neighbors and bestest friends, and I also could spy on her. Spying is when you be very, very quiet and you look at people through a peeky hole or a crack or something. I am a very good spyer. That's because I have sneaky feet and my nose doesn't whistle when I breathe. Last Friday morning at Grandpa Miller's house, I hid it in the dirty clothes hamper. Then my grandpa came into the bathroom, and I lifted up the lid a tiny bit, and I peeked my eyes at him. And guess what? Grandpa Miller took his whole teeth right out of his head, that's what. I popped right out of the hamper. Hey, Grandpa. How did you do that crazy thing? I hollered. Then my grandpa screamed very loud, and he runned out of the bathroom speedy quick. Grandpa Miller has high blood pressure, I think. Pretty soon, Mother hurried into the bathroom with angry feet. That's it, she yelled. No more spying. This is the last time I'm telling you. Do you hear me, Missy? Do you? Yes, I said, 'cause you're hollering right in my ear, that's why. Then Mother took me home, except for she kept on staying mad at me. Find something quiet to do, she said, kind of growly. Your baby brother has to take his morning nap. So then I thought and thought about what to do, and a very great idea popped into my head. First, I took off my loud shoes. Then I tippy-toed into baby Ollie's room in just my sock feet, and I spied on him through the bars of his crib. 'Cause what could be quieter than sneaky peeky spying, of course. Only too bad for me, because that boring old baby just kept on sleeping and sleeping. And he wasn't being fun. So that's how come I accidentally blowed on his face, and I tickled his nose with a ribbon. And I shouted, "Wake up!" in his ear. And guess what? Ollie opened his eyes, that's what. Then he started to cry very loud, and Mother runned into his room. Only she didn't even see me, 'cause I quick hided in the closet. Silly Junie B. I smiled to just myself. I'm the bestest spyer in the whole wide world, I said in my head. That's how come when I rode the bus to school that day, I did a little bit of bragging. I'm the bestest spyer in the whole world, I said to my bestest friend named Grace. Then I took off my shoes and I showed her my sneaky sock feet. See, I said, see how quiet they are? You can hardly even hear those guys. After that, I breathed in and out for her. And see, my nose doesn't whistle either, I said. That Grace smiled. I'm good at spying too, she said. I patted her. Yeah, only too bad, Grace, but you can't be as good as me, 'cause I said it first. That Grace did a mad breath at me. It's called a huffy, I think. I heard your nose whistle, Grace, I told her. Just then, the bus got to school, and me and that Grace raced each other to the playground, except for she beated me, only it didn't count, 'cause I wasn't really racing. Then we played horses with my other bestest friend named Lucille, only pretty soon the bell rang, and we all run to room 9 speedy quick. Mrs. was at the door waiting for us. Good afternoon, ladies, she said. Good afternoon, lady, I said back very polite. Then Mrs. smiled at me. That's because she is the nicest teacher I ever saw, and so I wish me and her were bestest friends. And guess what? I wish I could hide in her hamper. Chapter 2, Questions. Me and my bestest friend Lucille sat at my same table together. My table is where I sit up straight and do my work and don't talk to my neighbor, except I keep on forgetting that part. I wonder where Mrs. lives, I whispered to Lucille real quiet. Shh, said Lucille. We can't talk, or else we'll get in trouble. And anyway, you're not allowed to know where she lives, 'cause it's a secret. Says who? I asked. Says my brother, that's who, and he's in 3rd grade, and he says teachers have to keep their house a secret, or else the kids might go there and throw rotten tomatoes. I did a huffy at her. Yeah, only I don't want to throw rotten tomatoes, Lucille, I explained. I just want to hide in her hamper. That's all. I don't care, she said. You're still not allowed, 'cause my brother said so, and he knows more than you do, so there. I made an angry face. So there is not a nice word, Lucille, I said. Then I made a fist at her, except for Mrs. saw me, and so I had to unfold it. After that, I behaved myself very good. I sat up real straight, and I did all of my work. Work is when you use your brain and a pencil. Only sometimes I accidentally use the eraser too hard, and a big hole rubs in my paper. Hey, I did beautifully today, I called out, 'cause guess what? No hole, that's what. Mrs. came to my table. She put a gold star on my work. You did do beautifully, Junie B, she said. Maybe I'll hang this one on the wall for Grandparents' Day on Monday. Would you like that? Yes, I said, only I keep on forgetting how come those guys are coming to this place. Then Mrs. explained to me all about Grandparents' Day again. She said our grandparents are coming for a visit, and we get to show them room 9, and also we get to have freshments together. Mrs. said freshments are cookies and a beverage. I raised my hand. Yeah, only I don't think I'm allowed to have the kind of drink named a beverage, 'cause I'm only allowed to have milk and juice, and that's all. Mrs. looked up at the ceiling with her eyes. Then I looked up there too, but I didn't see anything. How many of you think you can bring cookies on Monday? Asked Mrs. I can, I hollered very excited, 'cause my mother is the bestest cookie baker in the whole world, that's why. Except for one time she accidentally forgot they were in the oven and the firemen had to come to our house. Mrs. laughed, only I don't know why, 'cause that was not a funny story. After that, she gave me a note for Mother. It was some writing about baking cookies, I think. If your mother has any questions, please tell her to call me, said Mrs. Just then, I got a very great idea. Hey, I said, maybe me and Mother can bring the cookies to your house, and so then I can see where you live. Mrs. rumpled my hair. You don't have to come to my house, Junie B. Just bring the cookies to school on Monday morning. I smiled very sweet. Yeah, only I still want to see where you live, I said. Then Mrs. turned around and she walked back to her desk. That's how come I had to follow her. Do you have the rich kind of house or the regular kind of house, I asked her. 'Cause I just have the regular kind of house. Except for Mother wants the rich kind. Only Daddy said, lots of luck. Mrs. pointed at my chair. That means sit down, I think. Yeah, only do you have a daddy that lives at your house too? Are there any pictures of him in your wallet? Let's look in there, okay? Do you have a secret compartment in it? 'Cause my Grandpa Miller has one of those things with $50 in it. Only don't tell Grandma. Mrs. took my hand, then me and her walked back to my table. Yeah, only guess what? I'm wondering now. Now I'm wondering what your bedtime is, 'cause my bedtime is when the little hand is at the 7 and the big hand is at the 6. Only I hate that dumb, stupid bedtime because I'm not even tired yet, of course. Mrs. put her finger up to her lips. That's enough, Junie B., she said. I mean it. I want you to settle down now. Then she went right back to the front of the room and she didn't answer any of my questions. 'Cause guess why? Mrs. is a secret mystery guy. That's why. Chapter 3. Secret Mystery Guy. Me and my bestest friend Grace rode the bus home together. That's when I told her about Mrs. and her secret house. Mrs. is a secret mystery guy, I said, 'cause she wouldn't answer any of my questions, and so now I have curiosity about her. That Grace wrinkled her eyebrows. Me too, she said. Now I have curiosity about her too. I patted her again. Yeah, only too bad, Grace. But you can't have as much as me, 'cause I said it first. Remember that? Whoops, your nose is still whistling, Grace, I said. A few moments later, I got off the bus. I ran to my house like a speedy rocket. Grandma! Grandma! I shouted, very excited. It's me! It's Junie B. Jones! I'm home from my school! Grandma Miller babysits me and baby Ollie when Mother is at work. She was in the kitchen feeding Ollie sprained peas. Guess what, Grandma? Guess what? My teacher is a secret mystery guy, and she won't tell me where she lives. Only I want to go to her house really bad. Grandma Miller shushed me. There's no need to shout, Junie B., she said. I'm right here. Yeah, only I can't help it, Grandma, because I have curiosity about her. Grandma Miller did a little smile. Curiosity killed the cat, you know, she said. Then my mouth went open. And my eyes got very big, too. What cat, Grandma? Where did the curiosity kill it? Was it in the street by my school? 'Cause I saw a squished cat in the street by my school. Only Polly Allen Puffer said it got run over by the ice cream truck. Grandma Miller looked at me for a very long time. Then she went to the sink and took an aspirin. Just then I heard a noise at the front door, and its name is Mother was home from work. Mother, Mother, I have a important note from Mrs., 'cause you and me are going to bake delicious cookies, and then we can take them to her house and see where she lives. Mother read the note. The note says to take the cookies to school, Junie B., not to your teacher's house. Yeah, only I already knew that, but my teacher is a secret mystery guy, and she won't tell me where she lives, and so you and me have to find it ourselves. Mother shook her head. No way, Toots, she said. Yes way, I hollered. We have to, 'cause now I've got curiosity in me, and I have to find out where her house is, or else Grandma said I'm going to get run over by the ice cream truck. Then Mother did a frown at Grandma, and Grandma took another aspirin. Your teacher is not a secret mystery guy, Junie B., said Mother. She's just a regular person with a regular family, and there's no way that you and I are going to bother her at her house. I stamped my foot. Yes, we are. We are too. 'Cause I want to, that's why. After that, I got sended to my room. 'Cause of no shouting and no stamping my foot, only I never heard of that dumb rule before. I shut my door very angry, then I put my head under my pillow, and I called Mother the name of Pooey Head. And guess what else, I said very quiet. Teachers are not regular people. So there. Ha ha. Chapter 4, Cookie Mix and Other Stuff. The next day was Saturday. Saturday is the day me and my mother go to the grocery store. I have rules at that place, like no hollering the words, "I want ice cream," and no calling mother the name of Big Meanie when she won't buy it. And no eating a bag of marshmallows that doesn't belong to you, or else the store guy yanks it away from you and he says, "Eating is the same thing as stealing, young lady." Then he takes you to mother, and she has to pay for the whole entire bag, except for I don't know why, because I only ate 3 of those soft guys, I think. The carts at the grocery store have seats in them. That's where babies sit. Only not me, because big girls get to walk all by themselves. And guess what? One time, mother even let me push the whole big cart without any help. Except for then, some baked beanies got knocked off their shelf. And then Grandma got her foot caught in my tire, and so now I have to wait until I'm bigger. My favorite aisle is where the cookies are. That's because sometimes there's a lady at the table there, and she gives me and Mother cookie samples. And we don't even have to pay for them. Their names are freebies, I think. Only too bad for me, because this time that lady wasn't there. "Darn it," I said, very disappointed. "No freebie, lady." Mother smiled. "That's okay. When we get home, we're going to bake our own cookies for Grandparents' Day, remember? Won't that be fun?" she asked. I made my shoulders go up and down. That's because I was still mad at her for not taking me to my teacher's house, of course. "What kind of cookie mix do you want?" asked Mother. I did a frown at her. "I don't even want to bake cookies anymore," I said, "because you still won't take me to where Mrs. lives." Mother rumpled my hair. "Staying mad isn't going to change things, Junie B," she said. "Now, do you want to pick out that cookie mix, or should I?" Then Mother picked out some cookie mix, and she gave it to me, and I throwed it in the cart very hard. "Thank you," said Mother. "You're not welcome," I said. After that, Mother took me outside of the store, and me and her had a little talk. A little talk is when Mother is mad at me, and she says, "Who do I think I am, Missy? And exactly how long do I think she's going to put up with me?" Then I have to say apology to her. Apology is the words, "I'm sorry." Except for you don't actually have to mean it, because nobody can even tell the difference. After the little talk, we went back to the store. "Shall we try again?" asked Mother. Then she gave me another box of cookie mix. And I put it in the cart very nice. "That's better," she said. "Thank you." "You're not welcome," I said inside my head. Then I smiled to just myself, because Mother can't even hear me in there. After that, me and her went around the corner, and I saw my most favorite thing in the whole wide world. And its name is the water fountain. "Hey, I need a drink," I said, very excited. Then I runned over there, and I hopped up on the little step. "Need some help?" called Mother. "No," I said, "because I'm almost 6 years old, that's why, and so I already know how to work this big guy." "And there's another thing I know," I said. "No putting your mouth on the water spout, or else germs will get inside you and you will die." I smiled very proud. "Polly Allen Puffer told me that," I explained. Then I bended my head over the fountain, and I drank for a very long time. "Hurry up, Junie B," said Mother. "I need to get the shopping done." I wiped my mouth off with my arm. "Yeah, only I can't hurry up, or else I might get a stomachache and spit up water, because a boy named William did that on the playground yesterday." Mother looked at her watch. "Okay, well, I'm going to be right here in the cereal aisle. As soon as you're finished drinking, come directly back to me." "Okie dokie," I said, very happy. Then I turned around and drinked and drinked and drinked, except for then I started feeling a little bit sickish, and so I had to sit down on the little step and rest my water. That's when the big front doors of the grocery store opened. And guess what? My eyes almost popped out of my head, that's what. Because I saw a big shock. And its name was Mrs. My real live teacher named Mrs. was at the grocery store. All right, that's the first half of Junie B. Jones and some sneaky peeky spying. we will finish up that book whenever I'm on next for Children's Hour again here on Berks County's Quarantine Open Mic. But, of course, as always, to close out my section of stories and songs with Jessie, it would not be complete without having a song. So I hope you enjoy. This song is called I'll Stand By You by the Pretenders. I heard it on the radio yesterday, so I had to sing it for you because I really like it and the message it sends. Oh, why you look so sad? Tears are in your eyes. Come on and come to me now. Don't be ashamed to cry. Let me see you through. 'Cause I've seen the dark side too. When the night falls on you, you don't know what to do. Nothing you confess could make me love you less. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. So if you're mad, get mad. Don't hold it all inside. Come on, talk to me now. Hey, what you've got to hide. I get angry too. Well, I'm a lot like you. When you're standing at the crossroads, don't know which path to choose, let me come along. 'Cause even when you're wrong, I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. Take me into your darkest hour. I'll never desert you. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. And when the night falls on you, baby, you're feeling all alone. You won't be on your own. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. Baby, even in your darkest hour. And I'll never desert you. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Never ever desert you. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. And I'll never desert you. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. All right. I hope you enjoyed that. I know that I always have a great time reading and singing for you here on Stories and Songs with Jessie during our Children's Hour of Berks County Quarantine's open mic. So thank you so much for watching and listening, and I hope that you got to listen to the great Jo Mercer earlier in our Children's Hour. She's been doing a wonderful reading of The Hobbit for us, and I love all of her enthusiasm and her voices, of course. So I will see you next time. Remember, Berks County Quarantine Open Mic's Children's Hour is every day from 2 to 3 p.m. here in the group. And stay tuned every evening for the open mic hours when we hear all of our talented musicians and other acts and such. Thanks again. See you next time. Bye-bye.